Hey guys, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin. It is Saturday here. How's everybody doing? We're doing a few minutes early today because it's only a few minutes, and I'm like anticipating all the strong cigar strength and everything. I just like, you know what? Let's get it over with. Let's get started. You know, I figured by the time that I finish talking about this sentence, we'll be doing something already. So let's see. That is the weirdest thing today. Hold on a second. There we go. Somehow the TV was playing the sound. I was like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Anyways, so we have Joseph Woodruff. We have Buffalo Bush Outdoor. I think I saw Dad smoke cigar earlier, and someone else. I couldn't remember who that was. Anyway, so odd time, weird time. I know like a lot of people are bringing their kids out to Halloween right now. So I kind of expect that people is gonna, watch this tomorrow or something. You know, not today. Relatively event-free day for me today. I just went out to buy grocery. I really spent the entire afternoon going out to buy grocery. I did spend 20 minutes to go to a chiropractor because if you stay in this position for a long time, every day, your neck is stiff and everything. So I went to chiropractor. It's not bad. It's about 20-minute adjustment, and I came out feeling much better. So, you know, if you never tried chiropractor before, once in a while, it's not too bad. Once in a while, it's not too bad. Hey, Joseph. So today, we're smoking this Casa Cuevas Sledgehammer, and obviously, you can tell this one only still have 4 stars on it. And it says edition limitada, no, limited edition, right? So this one is pretty much decided on before the son decided to join the family and change the band. So if you don't know what happened before, sometime a while back, Casa Cuevas got their warehouse broken into, right? And basically this person drives a white box van. Hey, Travis' phone is dead, but that's okay. Did you guys enjoy the bong smoker? Is it good? Hilton 10. Hey, what's going on? That's the one with the shaggy foot. Yes, that's the one with the shaggy foot. So they got broke into, and the person who broke into it used a sledgehammer, hit the wall exactly where they need to be, open it up, went inside, clean out the entire inventory that's there, left with a box truck. So they decided to make a cigar in regards to that event and call this Mandarria, which is sledgehammer, according to them, which is sledgehammer. So what I'm expecting is full flavor, full strain, interesting cigar. So I haven't had this before. I'm having this with you guys today. Let's give that a try. Very flavorful. It's got this like very pleasant, sweet, strong cedar and cocoa, and a little bit of like a char cedar as well. Definitely recommend anybody to go to that if they can and experience everybody should have. Sure. I mean, that I highly recommend it. I just don't like to go to places and wait in line, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be super fun. Hey, William W. And Nate's here too. So yeah, today I'm gonna cut this. You know, this got a tail. I should cut this entire tail off. Let me see. I'll use the S cut today. S cut today. Usually I would want to do a V cut, but this is one of those weird ones. There we go. There's like a little sweetness to it, but it's not like those infusion sweetness to it that feels like I'm eating candy when the tobacco falls into my mouth. A little bit tight draw. A little bit tight draw. There's a little bit of saltiness to it too. I almost like feel like I'm eating something, and you know, in a way I am, because all the things are falling to my mouth. I'm gonna kind of correct the little thread here a little bit. Medium draw. It's not the loose draw I like, but it's medium draw. And the shaggy foot, I'm gonna toast it. Just really quickly. Now I know a lot of people does this, like, you know, from a good distance to do it. I like to just go over it really quickly, but like not actually burn it, but going through it really quickly. Like, you know, get it to char really quickly. Yep, the saltiness, there's a little grassy hay type of taste. A little bit of earthiness, cocoa. I'm waiting for a lot of orders to come in my house. Like, you know, I'm running out a lot of cigars. I think I definitely overbought cigars, but you can never have too much cigars. You can never have too much cigars. So I'm totally waiting for those cigars to hit my mailbox. Cocoa, saltiness, a little bit of citrusy in the middle somewhere. A little bit of earthiness. There's a few more notes, hold on. There is just a tad of bitterness to it, but it kind of goes in and out. Slight amount of pepper, not a lot of pepper. You know, that soap is still not here. That soap is still not here. Didn't we order that beginning of the week? I still haven't, you know, haven't get that. Yeah, there is a sweetness. It's more like a toffee rather than a toast caramel. It's either that or like a burnt caramel. So you get the bitterness and that sweetness together. It's kind of weird sweetness to it. Like I say, I almost feel like I'm eating something because it's got that very salty-ish, sugary taste to it that kind of gets to you as soon as you try to draw it. But like even before you draw it, you can taste it. Smoke output is not bad. It goes up, it climbs. Yeah, if you let the flavor linger enough, you also taste that cocoa taste. There's a little bit cocoa at the end after everything wear away. I think this will go really nicely with some serious hot chocolate or some really, really nice like Caribbean espresso. And the hay, I almost feel like it's got that raw taste to it from the like a green part of it. You know, before hay became hay, it's like a grassy-ish, it's rawness after the rain kind of feel. But the toffee part of it, the sweetness, definitely in the forefront. Definitely in the forefront. Oh man, I haven't played Call of Duty for a long time now. Me and my friend used to call it fishing. because we're in Boston and we have codfish. So like, you know, code words to get by our wives. It's like, hey, you want to go fishing? Yeah, let's go fish. Codfish. So how's everybody's day today? Other than Michael, what are you guys smoking today? On the YouTube side, if you're still there, also let me know why you guys are smoking. It's Saturday. If you're not outside doing Halloween, you should be smoking. Yeah, this has got a really good salty sweetness in the middle. It hits the middle of the tongue. It stays there. Every other flavor will go away, but that sweetness and the saltiness will actually stay on your tongue. Oh, Martina Maya is here. He's doing a flathead 660. You know he's about to go to sleep when he light up one of those. The earthiness, even the earthy is salty, because that salty note is kind of get the, you know, everything together. It's kind of weird, like everything goes together like that. Hey, what's going on, Damon? I haven't seen Damon for a while too. I mean, he's going full throttle tonight. Yeah, he's about to fall asleep, unless he's got some rum, so he won't remember he fell asleep. I mean, not rum, whiskey, well, moonshine in a mason jar. Ave Maria Immaculata. Good. So yeah, like I said, today I spent majority of my day shopping for grocery. I went to Omaha Steak to buy some meat because they're on sale, and I went to Asian Market. And then I went to Wagman, the Western Market, to get, you know, because our fridge is pretty empty. So, like, in total, I think we spent about $300 worth of grocery for 1 week. This is for 2 people. We need $300 worth of grocery per week. $300 worth of grocery per week. $300 worth of electricity per month. $100 worth of heating bill per month in the summer. And per... winter is about $200. It's crazy. This, like, all the crazy utility bills that I'm getting. Like, how much you guys usually do for weekly grocery expense for your family? You gotta let me know how many people in your family and how much grocery do you buy a week. Chilling in the sun, football, drinking scotch, smoking a Liga night earlier. That's pretty good. Hey, Brendan. Hey, Kat. Less than $200 a month in grocery? Nah, I can't do that. $600 a week, family of 6. That makes perfect sense. I mean, when you have kids and stuff, the expense goes up. So I can totally understand that, you know, there is no whiskey today. A lady wouldn't sell me a bottle. I'm bone dry. Make a bottle. Spend $100 to $200 a week for 5. $200 a week for family of 3. Yes, and they never stop eating. Been so busy with the kids and work. That's good. I mean, busy is good. I totally understand it. You know, having a busy life is better than having nothing to do life. BF4 was great. That's still a video game? Yeah. So, I guess I'm not the only one that's crazy. But I guess somehow I just spend more on food than anybody else. $300 for 2 people for a week. And that's not including going out to eat. Because we'll order out all the time too. It's crazy how much we eat. That's why I'm fat, right? You know, what's really funny is that when you're on diet, food actually costs more. $300 a week for family of 4. So yeah, like 2 of us is eating like a family of 4, I guess. That's crazy. About 250 every week, every 2 weeks, 2 people. So it makes that breaks up to 125 a week for 2 people. I double you. Wow. Cat, shouldn't you eat more than me? Shouldn't you eat more than me? What's the tax rate over there? Massachusetts, the tax rate is 6.25%. 6.25% on food. This thing is salty and sweet. So far, so good. Very good. I think this starts at like a medium plus. Not too bad at all. It's only famous, blah, blah, blah. Still at Battlefield. Still at I can't relate it because I haven't played any of those. The last one I played was Modern Warfare 2 or 3. I can't remember. So, can't even relate to that. Well, tax on food, like sales tax. There's no sales tax on food. Another 100 counting takeout. Nah, 100 is probably 1 meal for us on takeouts. 11.5 sales tax. That's crazy. Move quick. Shop at Costco and shop for a whole month at a time. About $500 a month, sometime 6. You know, we have Costco as well, but like we use Costco to buy stuff like water, big items, like paper towel, toilet papers, detergents, that kind of stuff. Not necessarily on food, because when you buy food in that big a quantity for 2 people, the fridge is not big enough. We will need multiple fridge. If you have multiple fridge in a separate freezer, perfect. But for Costco, we only have 1 French door fridge with a drawer on the bottom. So that's, you know, you can imagine how much you can fit in there. $7% sales tax in Iowa. Japan recently changed to 10% tax. And when they changed to 10% sales tax, everyone was happy. Everyone was happy. No one complained about 10% tax. And this is something that US should be doing too. I got 6 boys, 2 cats, 3 dogs, and our food bill is about $250 a week in grocery. Cook it like at home. Stay on our freezer, has beef, chicken, and pork all the time. That's the thing. Stay on our freezer means you can buy a lot of food, so you can actually shrink the cost. Jason Martin, what's going on? So yeah, I mean, if you calculate for that, Japan 10% tax, but everyone is happy. Why? Why do you think everybody's happy now? Why do you think everybody's happy? Anybody want to know? Why is Japan increasing their tax to 10%? Everyone was happy. Why is increasing tax was actually a good thing? Anybody know? How do I feel about if the US did the fair tax bill? What do you mean? Like which part of the fair tax bill that you want me to think about? That depends. If only one gained a Legion at me PS4, I think... Okay. We had 1 but lost in flood. I have no choice but to be happy about it. No, okay. So Japan increased the tax from 8%-ish to 10%. Of that 10% tax, in return, Japan offered pregnancy assistance. They offered free elementary school and baby care between baby care supplement costs. So they give you money to help you take care of the baby between 0 to 2 years, and from 2 years to like end of elementary, those education will now be free. All right, the baby care, all that stuff will be free. Assistant will be free. There's also, in addition to that, they only mark the tax on specific item. So things that you require to live, like food, they're not increasing tax. The tax stays the same. So there's two separate tax rates, right? Also, all the companies that regularly sell things that's expensive adjusted their items price to the same, if not lower, than the original tax. So this is what happened, okay? People are saying this, okay? If you buy an iPhone 11 before the tax increase, it will cost you more than after the tax increase. So after the tax increase, you go to the store to buy iPhone 11. After the adjust rate, you save like $20, $30. Not that I actually tried it, but they say after the calculation, they went to buy it, it was cheaper, and they were surprised. So Japanese government actually used this and give back so that they, because people complain about there's no baby assistant, there's no child care. They're having issue of the whole society getting older, but no one want to have kids. Now they increase the tax, but do it greatly to help those problems. They'll actually put it towards those problems. So it's actually a good tax increase, and people who it will promote people to have kids, right? That's number one. And number two is they don't have to spend those tax money on people who don't have kids. So it's actually they'll have more in surplus at the end. Now let's go back to that question earlier. Was there like a tax bill that say we need to pay 22% tax? If that happens, I guarantee there's gotta be a riot in America. 22% tax on everything, sales tax on things you buy will kill most stores. Everybody will buy online. Everybody will buy international online, so they don't have to pay tax. Because 22% on a $100 item is $22. That's crazy. That's 1/5. That's a lot of money. Imagine you go out and buy a $4,000 TV. It's gotta be $5,000. But only for new stuff. If it's pre-owned, then no tax. Like I say, can you imagine go out buy a $4,000 TV because tax will be $5,000? Tax rate is way too high. Most people won't be able to do that, because like if you think about it, I go out to buy $10 food, I'll have to pay $12. So $100 food bills will cost you $120. That adds up. $20 can buy somebody like 4 lunch. That's quite a bit. Why is overtime taxed? Because you still get paid. It's income tax. So even if it's proportional to your income. So if you have income, you're taxed. That's why overtime is still taxed. They pay you more, thus you're being taxed more. Alright, if you go out to eat, then you gotta pay tip. I think tip system is the worst system in the world. Now, you guys gotta think I'm a cheapskate, but when I go to Asia, we never tip for anything. I got so used to that. Unless I'm eating here, I forgot to tip for anything. Okay? I go to hotels. If you guys see my hotel before, you'll always see that I put a do not disturb sign on the front door. I don't ever tell them to come in and clean because I don't trust them cleaning. So I always put a do not disturb sign from the day 1 to all the way to day I leave the hotel in America. And I don't ever leave a tip for them because I'm doing my own cleaning for the like weeks, right? So I do that. But in Asia, I never put the sign of do not disturb on it. I always let them clean because you don't tip them. The thing is that it's honor system. They don't want to work harder for your tip and work less for no tip. They know there's no tip, so they automatically do better job. Yes, that was what I'm talking about. Makes me not even want to work overtime. Well, but then you do get paid more. Overtime is additional income. Don't we all get taxed twice since we pay tax out of our paycheck and we get taxed when they buy stuff? Now, yes and no. If you ever done payroll before, you'll know this. Payroll pays portion of your tax. You don't pay all your tax, all right? They withhold tax and there's costs associated with that. So your tax is actually lowered, all right? So when you buy thing with sales tax, you're only just paying the other half, technically, right? Technically, you're paying the other half. And the sales tax only apply to things that are wants, not need. Right? For example, clothing are usually not taxed. You know, shoes and stuff like that usually not taxed. They're taxed after you went through a certain amount of threshold, which they get you for luxury tax. But you know, it depends what you get. Restaurant can charge you service tax, but that's not sales tax. That's not sales tax. Midway movie. What's the new and coming Midway movie? I have no idea what that is. Sales state tax federal. Yeah, I'm amazed like how much you get taxed over there, because that's crazy. That's crazy. It's not like you guys get a lot of benefits from that tax, so it doesn't make sense to have that kind of tax rate. Employer tax is tough on my business. Yeah, employer tax, like those payroll taxes, payroll are expensive. You know, if you don't know about payroll, payroll is expensive. You think that withholding tax is cheap, you know, your employer is paying more on their tax side than you. So they're paying a big portion. That's why a lot of employees like to use temporaries, those sublets employees, because you don't deal with their payroll. You pay as an expense, not payroll. So you'll see a lot of companies like to use temporaries because they don't have to deal with payroll. They become account payable, not payroll. Move to New York and tell me what the worst tax in the nation are. Oh, I know about New York. I went to New York to buy stuff all the time. So they tax me hard. But again, it's adjust to living. So if you go to New York, you wouldn't want to stay in New York, because in New York it's expensive. But if you stay at the outskirts of New York, it makes sense. If you really want to be frugal, be an Asian and live in East Broadway. East Broadways are cheaper. The quality of this cigar is very enjoyable. I like that toffee, salty taste. And you can see like the construction is great. The burn is great. So far, so good. Very good. My old boss explained to me that her tax were compared to mine. It was insane. Yeah. I can tell you none of you guys will want to do my tax. My tax are crazy. I'm getting double taxed everywhere. Double, triple taxed everywhere. Yeah, it's crazy. Depends on your tax bracket. You could pay up over 50% combined sales, state, and federal. Yeah, you could. Don't get me started on property taxes. Yeah, property tax for me increases every year. So, and I have multiple property in different countries. So, it's never fun to pay property tax. Funny that some property in China that I own don't have property tax. Because once you owned it, you owned it. It's kind of weird. Because they're apartments, so the unit itself pays the property tax. But your unit doesn't pay property tax. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. There's like a weird rule to it. But yeah, we all have a lot of expenses. Can you imagine if we don't have to pay those taxes, how much cigar we can get? Yeah, that's a good thing. So here's the thing. In America, there is such thing called marriage penalty. Marriage penalty. What does that mean? If your wife makes significantly more tax than you, she drag up your bracket when you report tax. If you usually when income is less than $30,000 and your wife income is like $100,000, she pulls your bracket up over right away for marrying, for doing tax together. So that's a big problem to watch. Me and my wife had that problem when we first started. It's a lot of huge gap. I pay 0 property tax on my cigars. But I pay sales tax twice for a lot of my cigars. You buy car here, new, pay state, county, city tax for sales tax, then property tax every year. Then you sell it, then they pay tax. You have to claim income. They pay tax every year and they own it. Crazy, yeah. I think it's crazy how the government mismanaged money, overspend on the solution is more tax. No, the solution is actually to fire some of them. I pay okay. Yeah. So in terms of tax, I think the best way is to destroy the entire tax code and redo it, and really find out where we need the tax for and what we don't. You know what the biggest problem is? The people who's handling the state taxes are taking money from the state tax. It costs that much to have them run the state tax that they don't do it right. And the system in America is very different. You report your own tax, right? You calculate and tell them how much you earn too much. Okay? In Asia, it's the other way around. The other way around. In Asia, they do your tax and tell you how much you owe. You'll never have too much, you never have too little, you'll never get audited because they tell you how much you owe. Which usually is a good thing. Over here is like, the government might not know you owe this much, but you tell them, hey, I want to give you more money because I earn more. I think I shouldn't have to tell you, but I told you. So I'm gonna pay more. There you go, hey! But not only gonna pay more, I'm gonna find tax loopholes so I don't have to pay those. So why don't we just don't report it to start with? My coworker and his wife has issue. He makes $80,000 and she makes $35,000, and they're screwed by not having no deduction. Yep. And right now the new tax code basically doesn't allow any deduction for donation. So there you go. So unless you itemize your tax, you're not gonna get any benefit on this new tax code. Sounds like it's cheaper for his wife to be stay-home mom. Yeah, it would be. It would be. Because once you get dragged over the tax bracket, you're actually paying that much on tax. So yeah, I mean, I like the Asian way of paying tax. They tell you exactly what the tax is used for. But then again, it is a small country. And they just charge you whatever tax that it was reported to them anyway. For us, you can be under withhold, over withhold. And for me, I'm always under. There's not 1 year where I withhold enough tax. Okay? Every time I get charged for under withholding, you get penalty. There's a penalty for under withholding your tax, and you had to pay that penalty. It's like, hello, I really don't know how much you're gonna make this year, and I'm already giving you a lot, just dumping a lot of money to withhold it to start with. It's not my fault if I make more. I make more, I already pay you more tax, and I don't owe you. I pay it at the end of the tax season, and you still want to charge me penalty for that? What? I should start offering cigar storage for anyone and charge fee per month. That's something I don't get either, like being able to put your cigar in the lounge and they charge you for the box. Come on, if I'm gonna go to your lounge to smoke, I'm gonna buy a cigar there. Don't charge me fees. That wouldn't make sense, but then again, I have to keep my cigar at home, so. You mean like retirement? They can't do that. Because they gotta make sure the old presidents still have a steady income and never go broke. You know how embarrassing it is to hear that your ex-president of whatever actually went bankrupt? Can you imagine that? You know, like, for example, Clinton was pretty much broke by the end of their thing. And they have to go out and do, you know, speech and all that and do investment to make the money back. But they're pretty much broke. Without the, like, you know, all the extra thing that the government is paying them, all that stuff, can you imagine the news comes out says, Bill Clinton, our ex-president, is now bankrupt. That would be so embarrassing for a US president to go bankrupt, so. I set up mine at pretty much break even. Pretty much. You know, I will tell you that you know, for people who is paying taxes and stuff like that, it's better to owe than overpay. Better to owe money at the end and pay those money than overpay and then get those money back. Why? Because if you get a tax return, you still have to pay tax on that. Alright? If you get withhold and get tax return, you still pay tax on that. That's number one. Number two, not only you pay tax on that, you don't get interest. They hold on to your money for an entire year and you do not get interest. Isn't that wrong? So why don't I take those money, put in the bank, make a few bucks on interest, and pay at the end of the year? Why wouldn't I do that? Why am I gonna let the government hold my money? You know, if I hold it in the bank, if I need it, I can use it. If I hold it in the government, if I need it, I can't use it. Not only that, they're not paying me interest. They're holding your money to use for free. Because you don't get your tax back unless it's a tax return, right? They kind of pretty much know how much money of that withholding that they can use. So why pay? Why overpay? Why overpay? You know, the government owe us money, that's okay. But when we owe them money, you're screwed. No. I'm gonna owe them every year. They can charge me whatever amount they want for penalty, but I'm not paying on time. You know, I already put some in there to hold, and the rest I pay them at the end of the year. It's not, I don't have to owe them, but it's a very hefty amount, and that amount in the bank actually makes a pretty decent interest. And we're talking about 2% interest. It's a lot on that. Like, you can buy a house on that. How do you get some juice? The vitamin N is creepy on me a little. Yeah, this thing is it's medium plus for sure. It doesn't feel that way because it's so tasty. It's so sweet and salty. So it doesn't really feel that way. But there is some strength in this. There's some strength in this. So you want to go slow on this. You definitely want to go slow on this. Fortune 500 corporation handle their finances like the government does. The board should stop everything and freaking fire everyone. But yet we elect the same people over and over again. It's all about power and lack of responsibilities. Hillary's Rockefeller family, they will never go broke. Well, according to ex-president Clinton, Bill, they were pretty much broke. They have like $100,000 in the bank account. That's considered broke because they have all those realistic stuff they have to pay for. But you'll be surprised. Now, here's the thing. Like the other day, my wife read a post about like this guy says how to be debt free. How to be debt free. Average American has about $20,000 worth of debt. All right. Average American has about $20,000 worth of debt. How to be debt free was pretty much live like a hobo. I read that thing. And my wife basically told them what I usually tell my client. You can never be debt free. You'll be debt free when you die. And this guy literally go in there and posted, that's not true. I know at least 70 people that's debt free. I was like, this guy is totally bullshitting because he can come out with the number 70. Do you go around and calculate how many of your friends are debt free? Oh, you're debt free? 1. You're debt free? 2. Oh, you're debt free too? 3. Who does that? Who does that? I know that he was bullshitting. Oh, this thing smells so good. Even the smell is good. Alright, so why did I say people can never be debt free? Because number one, you owe the government already. That's your debt. You forever. So long as you make money, you owe them. Alright? If you have any real estate, anything that's taxable, you owe money. That's your debt. Alright? 2 things you never finish paying for. You never finish paying for your car. You never finish paying for your house. 2 things you never finish paying for. You're always in debt. If you ever had a credit card, you have debt until the end of the month. Alright? If you ever had, this aroma is great. You ever buy anything of substantial value, house, car, diamond, whatever, you have debt. And here's the thing. The more money you have, the more debt you have. And that's the truth. You cannot find like one big rich man that don't have debt. Even Warren Buffett will tell you that he's got debt. He's got debt. Does Donald Trump have debt? Oh hell yeah, he has debt. Everybody has debt. Alright, majority of their stuff are financed. Alright, why does it matter if they finance? Because if they use cash to buy full value, that cash cannot make them more money and investment. They use the investment earnings to pay those values, so they will always have debt. That's why they always tell you that this person has a value of blah, 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 blah. But that's not their actual value. It's perceived value. Perceived value. That's me. Live like a hobo and have disposable income that way. Having disposable income doesn't mean you have no debt though. You know? Having disposable income doesn't mean you have no debt. If you own a car, you got debt. If you own a house, you have mortgage. That's debt. No. Well, net worth is what perceived value as well. Net worth is perceived value as well. So this is how much cash they have. This is how much things that value specific they have. Minus their liability, which is debt. Minus their liability, all right? So asset minus liability is their value. The net value, what's left over, net value, what you have left over. So they have liabilities because there's something to take away. That's debt. The more money you have, the more debt you have. You know, you're not gonna find a millionaire where his liability is $10. Not gonna happen. I refuse to get a credit card if I can't pay in cash. I don't need it. Did you pay your house in cash, or did you rent your house? If you rent your house, you got a monthly utility debt. I'm always in debt because medical bill every year. I owe my full out-of-pocket expense every year and the payment on it as soon as I caught up. The next year will start over again. Yeah, I have limited debt, not 100% debt free. I mean, deductible February every year. So yeah, no matter who you are, so long as you need to live, you got debt. You cannot survive in any environment with only cash. With only cash. Now you always need a bank account. You cannot just use cash. Can you imagine to go to buy a house with just cash, a stack of cash? Doesn't work. You can't even buy cigars with just cash if you want to buy online. You need a card. The moment that you bought your cigar, you have debt. You might pay it off, that's still debt. All I guess about my dad is that I don't answer the phone, and when I don't recognize the number, you can imagine why. Yeah, and they call you and chase you. Actually, you should pick up those phones, and then those phone calls are recorded. Tell them that you do not want to be contacted via this phone number. Ask them to cease and desist. They will actually have to stop. The phone calls are recorded. When they call you, says this call may be recorded for quality assurance, you say your call is now recorded on my line for my protection, and say, and as of now, today's date, I request this phone call to stop and cease and desist for the purpose of debt collection. And then you tell them that, and you have to tell them that all communication should be handled via mail. And if they continue to call you, consider harassment. They'll have to stop calling you. Unless it's a robot call, then you can't talk to anybody. So I have a debit card with some funds in it. Keep cash in my safe. That's the problem though. Can you imagine, like, for example, if I can't keep all the money in my safe, let's say I have $1 million in cash in my safe, and tomorrow I need to buy $1 million in house, and I have to take that $1 million to go to a safe, to go to a bank and get a bank check, I have to report where that $1 million came from. How annoying is that? Cash is more of a liability than not. Cash speaks, cash the king. But if you have a lot of cash and all of a sudden you say, I need to buy something, you have to prove where that money came from. You cannot just, you cannot even buy a house with a fund that's just in cash. You cannot do that. The fund will have to be inside your bank account for more than 3 months before you can use it to buy a house. Did you know that? You must prove the trail of that money. So I can't even say I save $1 every day, or I save $10 every day to get that amount. So I put in my bank. That's actually my money. You can't even say that. That's not proven. I pissed off some debt collectors for my friends before. I even wrote a cease and desist letters for my friends before. Hold on a second, let me catch up on that. Make separate payment of $9,000. You cannot do that. When you buy a house, either you get a mortgage or you pay lump sum. If you pay lump sum, you must prove the trail of that money has been with you in your possession for more than 3 months. In cash, you can't do that. If you put in the bank, separate $9,000 payment to the bank will get reported. If you make more than $13,000 in deposit, it will get reported to IRS. If you make multiple of that, you get audited. My buddy had no job, bought a $40,000 cash. No question. Well, if you buy a car, of course, I'm talking about mortgage. I'm buying a house, where they will have to assess your bank records. Sure. Buying a car, I never had an issue with paying cash, even though they will tell you to go to the bank and buy a money order. When you buy a money order, they still report it. You just don't know. Because some people used to do that for money laundering. And Mattia might just say that, you can reduce your debt but never ever not owe. Yeah. Because as soon as you're done with it, if you gotta continue to live, you owe more. I used to work for a debt collection agency, working for Sirius Radio. What? They collect debt? People are really defensive, even over owing money for radio. But yeah, because number one, it's annoying. Number two, they owe money probably because you guys don't simply cancel them. Kept it going for 3 months and then you collect that. I had a deal with getting reported on depositing too much cash before. Oh, I definitely had to deal with a lot of those. Where I will take out money. Let's say if I go on vacation with my wife and go into a country that require cash, I have to take cash out. So a lot of time I will take, maybe 100 grand, 200 grand in cash. Now, when I finish the trip, when I come back, I might still probably have, $60,000, $70,000 in cash left over. When I deposit that, there were a few times where I get questioned where that money came from. I literally had to tell them, like, hey, look at this. I took this money out here. I went to spend it. That's the leftover from that. There you go. And they asked me, like, can you prove that? What's there to prove? You want me to show you like serial number of each bills? You crazy? So yeah, in America, having cash is actually more bothersome than having everything in the bank. It's almost like a rigged system. Having too much cash it's not safe. You put it in the safe. By the time you want to use it, everybody question you, where did you get that money from? I can't save my own money now. I can't just put $1 in my little piggy every month now or every day to save that money. Oh, why do you have such some lump sum of money? Oh, it's because I saved it up. That's a good question right there. So if you owe a company money and that company sold your debt to collection agency, do you owe that money? You have no contract with the debt collector. Yes and no. So when they sold the debt collection to the debt collection company, a lot of time it became a zombie loan. Okay, so there are loans that expire. Any loan debts that's more than 5 years that didn't contact you, they couldn't get to you for 5 years, you can send them cease and desist. This debt is before 5 years and have them go through legal proceedings to try to catch it. And usually they won't. They will just stop contacting you. All right, and that will eventually fall off your record, so long as you don't respond to it. All right, don't respond to it. Make sure they can't find you, whatever, for that long of time. They can no longer collect it from you. That's one. Number two, when they sell it to the debt company, they sign a contract where they collect the debt on behalf of this company. So when they do that, we're collecting the debt on behalf of that company. You still owe them because the company has signed the rights of that debt to them, but they're collecting for that company. All right. So basically, this is what it is. All right. So let's say I am the debt collector, and who was that? Brendan. Brendan, you are the company that that Michael Wells owes money to. Okay. Let's say Michael Wells owes money. Let's say he owes $30,000. No, that's for sake of argument. Let's do a whole number, $10,000. All right. So you couldn't collect $10,000 because Michael Wells is retardedly good at hiding. He doesn't use cell phones. He doesn't have a mailing address. He just hides in his friend's house like forever. You don't know where he does. He does not use his credit. Period. Okay. 5-6 years later, you as a company says, you know what? I give up. I need to just recoup some of this money. So they sign a contract with a debt collector. Now, me, as a debt collector, I'll give you this contract that says, I will prepay you that money at a percentage, but let me collect this on behalf of you, and if I collect it, it's mine. Okay? So that happens. So they close their account as paid by this company, but then this company can still collect on behalf of them. So you still owe them that money. You cannot just don't pay. So they basically are sub-worker or contractor to collect money for this company. So you still owe that company money. You still have to pay. That doesn't change. Doesn't transfer the rights to the debt. They prepaid your money to that company. Now a lot of time they're selling those debts at a different rate or whatever. So they try to collect those loans. But what they would like to do is buy zombie loan, which is already went through expiration date where they can buy, like say for example, $1,000 loan. They will buy for $1. They'll buy for $1. And maybe they'll have a subclause says if we collect this amount back, you get this percentage back, right? So if they collect $1,000 back, the company will probably get like 20%. So they'll get $200 for letting them say we're collecting on behalf of this company. So yeah, does that explains it? How that works? All right. So the debt collection company, in this case me, is 1099 working for them. Working for Brendan right here. Okay. Underwriter is different. Underwriter assess the risk of a debt and choose to approve or deny the debt. That's what underwriter does. All right. They read the risk of the debt and they approve or deny a debt. They don't process the debt. They just approve or deny. They had to sign and they had a copy of my license. You can sign and they can have a copy of your license. It doesn't change anything. Alright? Having a copy of license is not a proof fact that you acknowledge that you owe them thing. You know, that's like saying if I was able to pick up somebody's license, this person automatically owed me $10,000 because I can write up a debt. Does that ever go away after how many years I have that disappear in my 20s? Specific debt will disappear after 5 years. All that can disappear after 10 years. So long as you take few different positions. If it's 5 years, that means they could not reach you for 5 years and they write it off. They just completely write it off. Usually, after that 5 years, you don't have to pay for that anymore, technically. All right, you can actually tell them to cease and desist because it's debt before a certain period of time. So you can do that. Hey Shane, now, if you want debt to disappear in 10 years, claim bankruptcy. Bankruptcy drop off your record after 10 years. So, but then there are few debts you cannot get rid of. You cannot get rid of student loan. That debt will never go away. It will follow you for the rest of your life. Alright, because somebody used to use bankruptcy to get rid of student loan. You cannot get rid of your tax debt. IRS never give up. And IRS knows where you are. Tax debt never go away. Hospital bills never ever goes away, okay? Hospital bills does not go away. You can owe them forever, but it never goes away. Alright? These are the 3 debts that you cannot write off even if you go to bankruptcy. That's when I deposit all the cash. IRS will throw you in jail if you don't pay. A certain amount of proceeding, yes. A certain amount of proceeding. You have to go to court. They will have to arrest you, go to court to throw you in jail for not paying. But usually, in most cases, you can work up a payment plan with them. So, like, you know, unless you owe $1 million, there's no way to pay, whatever. That's a different story. But if you owe a few $1,000s, they will throw a hearing at you and you can go to talk to the judge. I really don't have the money. I'd love to pay. Can I work out something? They will usually work out with you because they want to get paid. Yeah, so if you want to get rid of your debt, 2 ways. One is not pay for it and hide. Make sure there's not part of those 3 that I just mentioned. And number 2 is claim bankruptcy. Now, here's the thing. If you really don't care and you're not buying a house anytime soon, and I'm only saying house, okay? Because house is the only one that matters. If you're not renting or buying a house anytime soon, claim bankruptcy. Claim bankruptcy. That's the best way to do it. Now, why do I say that's the best way to do it? Because the only thing you cannot do is getting credit on renting a house and buying a house. Everything else you still can do. After you claim bankruptcy, you can still buy a car. You can still have credit card. You can still have debit card. You just cannot do it for a house. You can even still find a job with bankruptcy. So, bankruptcy is a very powerful item. But you can only do it once every, like, what, 8 years, I think? 8 years. And it takes 10 years for it to drop off your record. So, be very careful about that. It takes 10 years to drop off your record. Exactly 10, too. Exactly 10. Keep in mind, when you claim bankruptcy, there's 2 courses you have to study. You know, like, you know, spending issues and all that. There's 2 standard courses that you had to go through. And you had to pay your lawyer. And usually a lawyer costs about $100 to deal with bankruptcy. And make sure you don't have that much possession. Because the first thing they ask you is, do you have any possession that you can sell to pay back? Don't have any possession. Put everything at your wife or whatever. That way you'll be fine. They had me sign some paper, took a copy of license, then deposit all the cash because laundering drug money is a big here. Okay. That's just a trace route. That's just a trace route because they had to report it to IRS. Now, if you do this often, they know who to look for. If you don't do this often, they'll just do it one time and report it. Anything, like I said, anything more than $13,000 in a short period of time, I think a month, they will check. And if you have monthly, 13, deposit in cash, they will do that. If you deposit in check, they usually don't care. If it's check or money order, there's a roots of who purchased it or where it's from. They're okay with that. They report that directly to the government. Not that they will check. Only like specific things gets pulled and audited, so it's not that big deal. This cigar is really good. Now, if you have not tried this is one I highly recommend if you like medium plus strength and long cigars, because the flavor just doesn't go away. It's very consistent. It doesn't transfer that much. It's like a bunch of bunch of flavor together in this cigar. It burns well. So far, very good for the burn, and the flavor, it just doesn't go away. There is a little bit of vitamin N here and there, but it's very flavorful. It's very flavorful. I think this one reminds me of something like Filthy Viking, but sweeter and more pleasant. Now, all the bank will not accept cash deposit unless it's an account holder. So, unless you're a corporation or there's a few other ones. Basically, you cannot have like your son to go deposit $10,000 of cash for you. You have to write a check or something like that. So, we'll have them buy a money order and deposit so that there's a record. Here we go. Bands off. Most, so yeah, so ever since it changed the law like last year or something like that, where the bank no longer accept cash, not by the account holder. So you cannot have your friend says, hey, I want to pay you back like $20,000. Can I just go deposit to your account? You can't do that. Your friend literally had to do a check to be able to deposit it. This is very sweet. It's got a little bit of burn to the nose, but it goes away like right away. And strength, there is definitely a strength. Make sure you have a big meal for this. I think this is closer to full body as I go down to it. But I think that even if you're a medium smoker, you can handle this. It's not as scary as I thought it would be. It's not as scary as I thought it would be. It does taste really good. It does take a while to burn. Right now we're at minute 7. So let's say I'm hour 7. So I say this takes an hour just to get here. And I think I smoke pretty fast. So. Come on, man. It was only a small loan, $1 million. You're talking about Trump right now? You're talking about Trump right now? If you think about it in a large corporation sense, $1 million is actually, it is technically a small loan. Usually, if you have a good sized company that's, you know, have $250,000 or more in sale inventories, $1 million is considered a small loan, a small business loan. So yeah, $1 million is not that big. Because just to replenish your inventory, it'll cost you half that $1 million quickly too. Just to replenish your inventory, your SKUs. So $1 million is actually a small loan. Because one of my friend's company, I know that the initial loan for his business, and it's a small company too, it's a startup. Initial loan for his business was $5 million to get inventory. $5 million initial business loan for a startup. So $1 million is not a lot. If you like video game, you must know there is a game created called Mega Man. And the Mega Man guy who designed the original Mega Man went off and made this thing called Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9. I don't know if you guys know that game. Mighty Number 9. It totally flopped. But it got $4 million in Kickstarter. all right, in Kickstarter. It got $4 million. After the Kickstarter taking a portion of it, they got probably like 2.1 million, 2.3 million. And that amount technically is their loan, right? Because they had to give you back as a game, to pay you back as a game. So they got a loan of 2-point-something million dollars. And they went bankrupt. They went bankrupt. Had to sell their company. Okay? 2 years, 3 years later, they went bankrupt. Sold their company twice. Twice. They sold their IP. They sold their company twice. And even today, they still did not meet all the promise that they had promised in the beginning of the Kickstarter. And this guy's been working in the game industry for tens of years. They went bankrupt. So $2 million is not a lot. See, I don't really trust Kickstarters because every time I put more money towards Kickstarter, I don't get a result that I like. I never get the result that I like. That's like Star Citizen. It still isn't done in over $5 million. Is that a game, Star Citizen? I know Shenmue actually is taking off though. Shenmue 3 will actually come out. They actually show, you know, the game videos and stuff like that is actually gonna come out. So I'm actually surprised that I thought it was gonna flop. I thought they're not gonna be able to do it. And I'm surprised they can even buy the IP for that. But Shenmue is coming out. Surprisingly. So yeah, you would think that $1 million is a lot of money, but it's actually not. They say that if you save $24 a day, by the time you retire, you have $1 million. $1 million. You spend more than $1 million over the course of your kid going through 18 years of everything. So, you know, $1 million is actually not a lot. Nowadays, you can't even retire with $1 million. You probably need $2.7 million to retire comfortably. $2.7 million. That accounts for inflation through the time that you're on. Any thought using a VPN, Tony? For what? For what? What you're using the VPN for? I remember there's a Kickstarter game called what? Called When Belly Up. They spend all the money on stripper and club. You know, that's actually legally liable. They can get sued for that. But then again, they don't have no money to pay for you. So even if you sue them, you're not gonna get anything back. I plan on my retirement about 2.5 million by the time I'm at 50. So yeah, you will need more than that. Because you gotta account for inflation continuously. Inflation will continue to happen. Your money will worth less every year. So you need more than that. You need about 2.7. I got my retirement plan set for 1.7 million. Like I say, that's not enough. If you gotta use VPN just for everyday use of internet in your house, I do not recommend it. I do not recommend it. Why? Because VPN will also slow down your internet speed. Because you had to go through the VPN, tell the VPN your request, and have the VPN get the request and send it back to you through the VPN as like a repeat, like a third person, right? Every time, it's like taking off your pants to take a fart, right? When you need to fart, you gotta take off your pants first and fart and put your pants back up. That's what it is like VPN. So you get the protection, yes. Can you trace back from VPN? Yes. So it's not completely secure, it's only some security. It kind of hides your IP a little bit. But what the hell are you doing that needs to hide your IP? Right? If you're in China that want to see like Facebook and stuff like that, you have to use VPN. But in the US, if you're not doing anything crazy, there's no point to use VPN. Unless you're like downloading like BitTorrents and stuff like that, you have to hide. Then yeah, you can use VPN. But then again, it slows down your speed a lot. It slows down your speed. Everything that crossed through that VPN, you went from your house, talking all the way over there, and have that guy says, hey, Tony is asking for this information, give it to me. He take it, and he ship it back to you 5 seconds later. And he finally had it. But you could have just go straight to that guy and says, hey, I want that. Don't want my pole dancing videos getting out. To be really honest with you, if hackers want to grab your stuff, VPN isn't gonna stop them. They can hop the VPN. These couple of Russians actually developed this thing called Gotimagachi or something like that. It's basically two AIs that eats handshakes, Wi-Fi handshakes. So it's a similar concept. You can actually set points where you can trick the VPN to actually dump all the VPN informations. So VPN is not completely safe. It's only safe from certain governments, and if they wanted to, they can find another Mr. Snow, to look into it, and they will find it. There's always a way to chase back. Even the most famous internet browser Tor, if you don't do it right, you can still get chased back. So even that continues to multiply changing your IP here and there, you can still get chased. The people, Silk Road got caught that way. I have Chippendale video on YouTube somewhere. I don't think that's that bad, Chippendale. I think Chippendale still have underwear on, right? So. Have investment are important, so are the few that still get a pension. Pension, I said never count on your pension, ever. Because you can lose a pension. Never count on the pension. Always make sure that the money that you have is money that you have. Not money depend on someone to pay you. Alright? Because pension pays into an insurance system that pays that. But even that insurance system can bankrupt, so. My best way of downloading anything is go through Chinese website. If you do it all the way in China, by the time they catch them, doesn't liable to me. Whatever that's copyrighted in Japan isn't gonna bother me. I'm over in US, so unless they come to US and copyright whatever I download, doesn't make sense. All right, so in terms of money, only trust the money that you have on hand. Alright, you can put it in the bank, and the bank can go bankrupt and you lose all your money. FDIC only covers $250,000 per account. So, in that perspective, you can only trust $250,000 in account at any given time. Make multiple accounts. If it ever hits $250,000, go make another one. Because it's $250,000 per account. I mean, it sounds kind of complicated, but it's actually not. For example, 401k, that's an investment. When Bernie Madoff went through his thing, a lot of people 401k went to 011k, So you can lose any money that's in investment. You can lose any money that's in the pension that actually put their money in the investment because it's an insurance account. You can also lose anything, basically you can lose anything that's not in your hand. My buddy did electronic intelligence in Marines and the top secret clearance. He told me how unsafe our info, including cell phone, actually is when they want the info. Exactly. If you ever read the information on Snowden, if you ever read the information from Snowden, basically is the Patriots Act defines the information taken as if they look into it. They keep a record of everything. Everything that's out there is on a tape in the insurance in the safe deposit box and everything. All right. So if they don't look for that specific item and use it, that's not considered as obtained. So they actually have all that information encrypted. It's there. They have it. They just didn't look into it. But the chances are they are not gonna look into it. No one has had that much time. Is gonna look through every single citizen's cell phone calls and all that stuff just to find out what the hell you're doing. Most people don't do that. Most people don't do that. Even hackers don't have the time for that. Okay, even the hackers don't have time for that. So expect that they have your information, they have your data, they have your browsing history. Even if you deleted your cache, They still have it. They might have it, but doesn't mean they will use it. And it doesn't count that they used it until they look for it. Diversified precious metal are good when it comes to diversification. Gold and platinum is the currency that you can trust for now. Only because currency are technically backed by gold. You know, US currency is backed by gold, but even though we don't have that much gold to back the dollars, and other currency are backed by dollars, so your gold is still safe right now. You're still increasing value. When all else fails, gold will always go. For now, it does tank. It has history of tanking before, but still, if that tanks, dollar tanks. So might as well have gold. If you say there's a reason they could find everything in Iraq, everything in a cell phone, he say your iPhone isn't safe. They want to get it that bad. If they want, yes, exactly. If they really, really, really have to, and that has to do with criminal cases, they will find a way to get it. They will subpoena everybody until they get it. There is some gold in Fornox, but not among the gold that you think of. And they removed it. They moved it. They moved it. It's no longer there anymore. So gold is somewhere else now. Fornox actually had more printed dollar bills than anything. They don't give a shit about average citizen. Exactly what I'm saying. You know, so again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But if you ask me, is it safe to keep gold in your house in a safe, in a gun safe? Maybe. Maybe. Just hope that you never break in the law where the police is allowed to go to your house and look at your gun safe and take the gold in the pocket. You know, anything tangible are the most reliable, but at the same time most dangerous. You know, you can lose them. But yeah, it's backed by gold, but I don't think we have that much gold. I really don't believe that U.S. government has that much gold to back the amount of dollars that we have today. You know, they say if Warren Buffett or like Bill Gates decide to cash their entire savings, net worth, and everything, and withdraw all their money from the bank, all the bank will go bankrupt. Because there's actually not that much money. You know, if the money that you put in the bank is actually not there. They take it to do investment. All right? Even your checking account, they take it to do investment. Your service fee, they take it to do investment. Your saving account, they take it to. They don't have that much cash at any given time, right? So that's why when you need to withdraw a lot of money, they make you go through the hassle of filling all the paperwork, and they make you wait 2 days because they had to gather up all those cash to give it to you. All my guns were lost in a boat accident. No need for the cops to look in my safe. Well, like I say, don't break the law. If you break the law, they can get a warrant and they can look at your safe if they wanted to. The U.S. has too much outstanding debt with China alone. What, $500 billion, trillion? I'm surprised. Like, here's the thing: if I am American government and I'm having a trade war with China, what do you think I would do? If I am the American government that handles national debt, what do you think I would do to China? If I'm the national government, and the government of US, and I handles the national debt, I will tell China I'm not paying them. We're on a finance war. We're on a trade war. I'm not paying the $500 trillion. Go ahead, increase as much as you want. Keep adding interest on it. You know what? Do 100% interest again on them. See if I'll pay any penny on that. Or bankrupt those companies. You will bankrupt those companies that expect payment. Because that's a lot of money. Look at the Liga Privada I just posted in group. Travis. I just realized I've been always calling your name Accord, but it's Acor. So I apologize because I heard you talking about you talked about Acor the other day. Acor. Let's see. You're making me jealous because you're getting a lot of good cigars, and I'm like, I want them. Longest Liga Privada. Yes. And they have A on it, so blend A. So it's like an event only kind of thing. Yeah, there won't be any debt ceiling because I'm not paying for them. You know what? The amount of interest that we pay can go to a lot of things. The reason that you're paying tax and it goes nowhere is because they all want to pay the debts, right? Don't pay for them. Don't pay for them. Say, well, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Spend more money and go into war? Go ahead, spend more money and go to war. Not having to pay you interest means I have money to pay the militaries as much as I needed to. Well, the American credit will go to the shithole. But do I care? No! As a country, I wouldn't care. Go ahead, drop our national rating to 0. Drop our national rating to F. We don't need A, S, or A plus ratings. Drop it to F. See if I care. Go ahead, don't trade with the US to see what happens. Don't trade with the US, see what happens. We can self-sustain. We're more of an importer than exporter. That's what I will do. Everybody will go nuts, go crazy. They're like, oh my god, we gotta be so bad. You know, the credit rating of US is F. Why do I care? Why do I care? It just means I can't borrow more money. But right now I'm owing more than I can borrow. So I'm just gonna go, no, I'm not paying for them. Oh, you really want a space? You can have Guantanamo Bay. There you go, you can have that. You can have Virgin Island. You can have Virgin Island. That's fine. They wanted to be independent anyway. Go have Virgin Island. You can have those. You know what? In fact, have Hawaii. If I'm the US government and China wants that money back, I was like, you know what? Why don't we just have Hawaii? Take Hawaii. Take Hawaii. You know, we gotta build military base on Hawaii. Go. Go ahead. You know how hard it is to put resource in Hawaii? Hawaii don't even have fresh water. Just like Shanghai. You know how much money it costs just to bring fresh water to Shanghai? Hong Kong don't have fresh water either, by the way. I'm not a Lancero guy either. But that doesn't look like Lancero, that's just long Robusto. Long ass Robusto looks like. Kind of chub. Yeah. Bola will just move over here. No, you know what? I think Bola will enjoy that. If Chinese take over, they'll have Chinese food over there. But it's so far away from them. They had to cross through America just to get there. I don't mind. US never had problem with Hawaii. Like, we literally took over for no reason. If you read the history of how we had Hawaii, we just say, we gotta have Hawaii. There you go. You as a queen surrender. There you go. Because we won Hawaii. So yeah, now it's ours. Like, the way we took Hawaii is just like, because we won it, now it's ours. Japan has this thing where they don't owe any other country money. It's great. They borrow money from their own citizens. So that's a really good thing. They self-sustain. So, but then like having that much debt and that never goes down, there's no point. Stop paying for them. Don't pay a debt that you can never pay off. We're borrowing more debt to pay the debt. There's no point, you know. It will be the best decision, the biggest, craziest decision ever made in the US if they decide not to pay for that. It will probably be the best decision ever. Alright? Now, credit system will go to shit, but really it doesn't matter because we're buyers, we're not sellers. So we don't really need that credit system, you know? And the rest of the world will know that that's just shoving the middle finger to China, literally, and they won't even care. They won't even care because business as usual. I can guarantee you that's gonna be business as usual, right? The only difference is that we can't produce anything in China anymore because China is like, we're not gonna take any U.S. companies in China. You cannot manufacture in China anymore. Well, China, did you know this? Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, Calcutta, India, and Krakow. There's plenty of places that we can manufacture things cheaper. But what's best is, I don't know what you guys think though, but I would rather pay more for anything that's made in USA than anything that says made in China. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Would you buy a made in China gun? Would you actually buy a gun that's made in China? Here's a question. Would you actually buy a gun that's made in China? Does China buy stuff in the US? Yes, they do. And they're forced to. China buys soybeans from US. China buys Angus beef from US. And right now, I think China will have to buy pork from US. Alright? And that's because we force them to, not because they want to. We force them to buy soybeans, which is crazy. But here's the thing though. If there is two identical guns on the table, alright? Identical gun. I don't care what gun it is. Identical gun. One says, made in Texas, USA. The other one says, made in Shenzhen, China. This one is over $200 more than this one. Which one would you buy? Would you pay $200 more for a made in USA gun, or would you save that $200 buy a Chinese gun? Which one would you buy? Exactly. You will buy the USA. You rather pay more. You rather pay more. Here, 2 hunting knives. Alright, both the same material. One made in Shenzhen, China. The other one made in, I don't know, Detroit, USA. Which one would you buy? And the Detroit, USA, let's say it's double the price. 100% markup. Whereas the Chinese one is $50. Which one would you buy? I think the answer is pretty obvious. I'll buy made in USA anytime. 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 Alright? The answer is US. It's gotta be USA. Alright? Yes, it costs more because our labor costs more. But also our quality, we trust we're here. You know, not... You've seen the factory in Asia. You wouldn't buy them. Chances are US gun was made better quality product and assembled with better quality. Same answer. Gotta support the local business. You see, not only local business, but you expect the people to make those things has good knowledge, right? That's why I kind of like, you know, I say Texas, USA, because those people who assemble those guns will know about guns. And they probably have the niche for themselves too. Would you make a shitty gun if you love guns? You will look at this gun and like, this manufacturing is shit. I can't get this out. Boom, and it's trash. This is how you're supposed to make it and make it right. And that's kind of the US kind of thing, you know? If you want to make something, you make it right. Right? You kind of have that pride in there and stuff like that. I mean, when you see made in China, you cringe. Is it necessarily better or worse? Not necessarily, but you can expect that people in China are making those things that monkey see, monkey do. Put, you know, first person, put this chip on here. Next person, put 4 screws on there. Next person, put another sticker on there. Next person, put this on there. In the US, it's probably like slightly different. They will be like, this person make this whole entire thing. Boom. Next person, check it. Next person, check it. Done. We have some badass custom gun maker in my city. I want to rent a helicopter to do hot hunger times, but that would be badass. So yeah, let's say if US went to shit and stop paying for that period, you know how much money we're saving on interest alone? That amount of money can immediately fix all the roads in the US. Immediately fix all the roads in US. In fact, that amount of money can buy the entire Detroit. Okay? That amount of money can buy entire Detroit and fix it up. Alright? Social Security will be replenished immediately. You have to deal with their business stuff, so you had better understand the way of a lot of things down there. I wouldn't have a chance, a mini explosion in my hand, something like that came from China. I mean, things that's made in China doesn't make China liable. That's the problem. Majority of things that made in China fails, right? And what they do is they rather fail on your hand where you return it to get another one than having problem with it, right? So in the US, it's kind of different. Let's say if this lighter is made in US and it failed, right? I can go back and blame the company, and the company being the USA company, they are liable for all the problems. If it's made in China, there's just, manufacturer sucked. If it's made in USA, well, now that manufacturers in USA will make them be responsible for it. So it's different. Do you think China will invade the US if we didn't pay? Are you afraid of that? I mean, being honest with me, Brendan, are you afraid of China invade US for not paying your debt? Are you afraid for China to invade US because we didn't pay the debt? Will you be? I say bring it on. I say bring it on. Bring it on. They will spend millions of dollars just to fight you. And you just use those interests to pay the war. There you go, done. And I guess I can pretty much guarantee you that it's gonna cost less than the interest to pay for the war against China than pay the interest. I think it would be dumb for China to do that. China will be so stupid to, all their finance companies gotta go bankrupt because they're not getting those interests that they're supposed to be paid. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in interest that they're getting paid, right? All of a sudden, they get zero income. Those companies gotta go to shit and bankrupt. Alright? Those companies gotta go to shit and bankrupt. And if they want to go to war, we got plenty of money not paying the, you're talking about millions of dollars per month. Hundreds of millions of dollars per month that we can go to missiles. And I guarantee you have leftovers to fix roads. Yeah, nobody's gonna like that. Oh my god, war. We're on war anyway, right? And I really think that, and this is gonna getting me in trouble by saying that, but I really think that China is not actively war trained, right? It's like fighting someone that's novice playing Call of Duty versus someone that's that has already reached the cap and went back again and go prestige and then win cap level. That's the US military, all right? Someone that went through Call of Duty, standard leveling, and then went to prestige and then went all the way to the highest level. China, they never really go to war. They never really fight the war. When's the last war that China fought? And won? When's the last war China fought and won? You splooge war, bro? No, I don't. Right? China, not in the recent year, has fought any war and won. China just bullies people with finance. All right, China did not fight any war and won. U.S. most active duty members has went to a war and survived and came home. All right, our active duties are usually per war we lose like 1,000 people. China has never went to war and won. Thank you. Thank you. I was hoping that guy will actually come out with something better, but he didn't. Anyway, so yeah, China has never fought a war and won. Why are we worried about it? You worry about going to war with the inexperienced military. Band hammer time. And band. Right? So why will you be worried about going to war with someone that never go to war? You know, that's like worry about going to a martial art competition where you are the veteran of like 5 gold medal versus this kid who has never actually went to a competition before, and then you go to competition and says, I'm afraid because this guy's got like 5 more friends over there in the back. No, we will kick their ass so hard, like like how Michael Wells just kicked this guy's ass. So I'm not afraid of that, and I really don't think they will do that. I really don't think they will do that. So I really don't. Why would they spend more money to chase back a debt? How will it go if Russia join up with with China? Now that's a tough one. Well, that was a quick entrance and exit. Internal political things, I think Russia will not try to fight US. Because when they do, they get sanctioned like crazy again. Right? There's no benefit of helping China to fight that war. They might provide weapons to China, but at that point, I think that China will say, oh, our weapons are better than yours. Because it's made in China. Alright, so I actually think that in terms of political benefit, Russians don't have that benefit. And literally, US can say, if you don't help China stay mutual, we will remove some sanctions. And done. Only country that I think is gonna help China in that perspective to try to chase after debt is North Korea. It's North Korea. This stick is damn good. This stick is good. I'm going slow at it because it starts to turn into a full body cigar. It's full power, full strength cigar. So I have to be very careful because I start to feel it a little bit. But it's a great cigar. I highly recommend anybody to go try it. Now, where can you buy this cigar? I think TNT has it, Embargo has it, but I'm still working on that Embargo thing. I have to chase after Brendan for that, but because last week there was some emergency for Embargo, they had to go deal with it, so that's why we couldn't get it out there. But yeah, once it worked out, you can get this cigar. You can still find that cigar in TNT. So yeah, I'm not really afraid. Like in every point that I can think of, what is the worst case scenario for US to stop paying Chinese debt? There's more benefit. There's way more benefit. They don't, but I think they will carry this. I think Brendan asked them before, like if we were to buy this, would they carry it? I think they will carry it. I think they would, something like that. I can't remember what they say, but TNT definitely has it though. I don't think Cigars Daily have this cigar. So if you guys want this cigar, I have to talk to Tim to know how many we need, and they haven't carried it. But we do have like what, 10 people that want to try this cigar or something like that when I first asked. So yeah, if there's enough demand, let me know, and then I'll have Cigars Daily carry it or something like that. Well, I'll talk to Tim, like, you know, hey, we want to buy this cigar, you better carry it. But yeah, if I'm the president, that's what I would do. I'll stop paying China then, tell them to go to hell, right? And then I'll use those money to pay whatever that is needed, you know? In fact, this is the funniest thing, okay? Don't flame me for this, okay? I'm just saying only if, okay? If we stop paying that debt, we stop paying the interest, we'll have that border wall by now. We'll have that border wall and the moat in front of it with shark attached with lasers by now, if we stop paying that interest. Yeah, I'm like saying if you guys want it, I will go talk to Tim to say, hey, you need to carry this because our group want to review that cigar, whatever. So, but yeah, if we start paying the interest, we'll have that wall built long ago. Now, but it wouldn't be Mexico paid for it. China would have paid for it. China would have paid for that wall. Entire wall, you know, electric fences, lights, dancers on top, moat, shark attached with laser pointers or laser shooters, and the lava right in front of it too. Okay? And on the side, you have Backstreet Boys singing. That's how much money that we're wasting paying interest. Okay? That's how much money we're paying on interest. If we don't pay that interest, and in fact, we will get a letter, everybody's gonna get a letter where Social Security is now funded until 2,200. Okay? That's what's gonna happen. All those things, all of a sudden, US become the richest country out there. Okay? Because now we don't owe $500 trillion. Alright? But, you know, gotta be political, gotta pay the debts. You know. The only bad thing is that you can no longer borrow debt from China. Do you really need to anymore? Here's the thing. Do you really need to borrow money anymore if you don't have to pay that deficit? We're only barely paying minimal. We're only paying just interest alone. In fact, I think lately we're not even paying interest anymore. We're paying below interest. We'll try to make it up. Alright? Our tax rate will just go because government all of a sudden got so rich. You know, just imagine if you owe $500 trillion and you all the earning that you make is barely paying the interest, and all of a sudden you say that $500 trillion is no longer an issue. You don't have to pay for it anymore. All those money monthly now it's yours to spend. You just went from poor to super duper rich. Super duper rich. And all the other country isn't gonna say shit because why? Their money is backed by US dollars. Or there are a few countries where their debt's backed by like shillings or something like that, or diamonds. But most countries are still backed by dollars. US dollars. I think even China's money is backed by dollars. So if you don't pay China, China's money go pew down too. All of a sudden it's worth shit. All of a sudden it's worth shit. The money that we have, dollars, is whatever value that people trust that has. So even if China says we no longer recognize US dollars, it's not gonna change anything. Alright? If China says we no longer recognize US dollars as a form of currency, that's okay because the rest of the world still does. You know, that's just like China says we recognize Taiwan to be part of China. Well, no other country cares. Definitely a problem with the government. They never like to spend less. I just think that that's the case. I really think that's the case. That if we stop paying for it, China is gonna go. We no longer recognize US dollar as a foreign currency because now they no longer pay. All those finance companies in China is gonna shit the bed, go crazy, and bankrupt because now they don't have the income, right? And all the investment that's in China had to be pulled, which is not a big deal because a lot of them already left. All right, a lot of them already left. Manufacturing had to find another place to do manufacturing. That's totally fine. There's plenty of other countries who will say, we would love to produce items from the US, okay? Every country, you can imagine any country says, would you like to produce iPhone for the Apple company? They'll be like, yes, please do. I will lick your foot right now. In fact, here's a pile of shit. I'll eat it if you let me produce iPhone. That's what's gonna happen, okay? And then we just don't deal with China, period. Because we can also not recognize their currency as well. Now, it will hurt. It will hurt tourism, Chinese tourism. Chinese tourism does bring in a lot of money, but still not as much as the interest that we're paying for. All right, Chinese tourism pays a lot of money. So even if you don't recognize Chinese currency anymore, all right, even if you don't trust Chinese currency anymore, we're gonna lose some, but we're still getting a lot more. I don't think that's gotta be a problem. It would be nice if iPhone was produced in Japan. In fact, a lot of semiconductor is made in Japan. Now, Japan pulled a really sneaky trick a while back by not selling the solution that's needed for semiconductors. All right, only Japan has that chemical to wash the semiconductors. They pulled that trick a while back to piss off South Korea, Samsung and all those semiconductor company. So either way, Japan has a hand in your electronic devices. All right, Japan sells the solution for that electronic devices. All right, that's done. That's a really good cigar. I would have kept going if I haven't lighted it like 3 times already. So I'm not gonna relight that anymore. But that's a really good cigar. I highly recommend you to try that. I'm not surprised. I thought it was gonna be crazy strong. I can't handle it, but you know, wasn't bad. It was pretty good. It was really good. If I was to give a score, I'd probably be somewhere near 8.5 out of 10-ish to 9. I don't have a 10. I don't have a 10 cigar, so. But yeah, the world will be such a beautiful place if that's the case. Yes, Samsung produced iPhone screens, okay? iPhone screens produced by Samsung. Samsung pretty much produced all the screen for every other company and the camera chips. So, is it that big a problem if we don't pay China? If you think about it now, not really. Not really. You know what? After I release this, China's gotta go. We gotta ban Tony. Tony can no longer come to China. William's back. So yeah, U.S. government, if you ever watch this, make sure to let me know you gotta use this advice so I can bill you for my consultation. U.S. government, remember. Here, I will only bill you from a portion of percentage of what you not have to pay on interest. Martin's still on his 660. Martin, I'm surprised you haven't fallen asleep yet. $1 trillion? I'll take $1 trillion. I'll take $1 trillion. You know, you would think that those finance people, accounting people would have thought about that by now. Right? You would think that they will find that out already. But why didn't they do it? Because it's too easy. Because it's too easy. I don't know. A lot of time, I don't know if you work in a company that ever had that thought. It's like, why don't they just go simply this way and not that way? For example, my wife worked in a company where one person who is on contract made this macro that does a bunch of things, okay? And that person's contract ended, left, and they purged all the information on that person. Now, the program is attached to the person's SharePoint. I don't know if you know what SharePoint is. It's basically a network space that has a GUI that allows you to run apps on it. So when they purchase it, that software is gone. All right. Now, the company is going ape shit. They're like, oh my God, how do we get that back? How do we get it back? Go retrieve that software. Go find it. Go find a way. Go to the safe and brought back backups. All right. But even my wife was smart enough to say, why didn't we just make that out of Excel sheet right now? That problem would be solved. Why do we have to find someone that knows how to use SharePoint and do that? Why can't we just make one and upload to the network drive so everybody can use it? Because it's too easy. Now they gotta spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars to find someone to put it on SharePoint. Where they could have solved that problem in one day. When my wife told me this, I was like, tell them to hire me, I'll finish that project in one day. One day. Because it's a problem that you can solve in one day. Somebody on contract could program something like this. That means anybody who's professional can program this in one day. Alright? Just don't forget about the long-term issue. Fix the issue now. And then deal with more issues as they come. Because now they gotta come in small chunks. Instead of this one big chunk, now you have to go and find that software that you purged. Where you rather spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to redo this thing than spend no money to have somebody just go make an Excel sheet to fix that. Because it's too easy. Because it's too easy. Somebody out there want to break something that's not broken and fix it so they can take credit on fixing it. Tell me that you don't have a person in where you work does that. I'm pretty sure every company has this one asshole who jump into position and say, even though everything's working fine the way it is, I'm gonna break it and fix it. And usually the solution was pretty much the same thing with minor changes. And then they pat themselves on the shoulder and says, good job. I solved this problem. I have completely made over this company. This company owed me for coming out with this idea to fix it. Well, it wasn't broken to the first place. It wasn't broken. It was working, and you broke it. You come to the company and says, no, this doesn't work. We gotta do it my way. We gotta do it my way, even though it's working. All right. Now we're gonna stop doing this, and when you stop doing something, they're like, oh, you can't stop doing that. You have to do it. So they put it back in there. And then they go to the meeting and says, oh yeah, so this wasn't working, so we stopped doing it, but we couldn't stop doing it, so we came up with a new idea to fix that, even though it's the same idea. Every company have that kind of assholes. Every company. Don't be that asshole. Fix the easy way. Work smart, not hard. Oh heck yeah! I told you about our rock software that useless cost that they're kicking themselves for implementing and waste millions of. Yeah, it's crazy how company rather go with the hard route where somebody broke a system to fix a system, whereas it was working to start with. Right? It was working to start with. You know, it just always happens. Hates that. If they give you $1 trillion, they're going to tax you 90%. I'm still okay with that. I will still be okay with that. All right, I will still get 100 billion. I'm okay with that. Go ahead, tax me 90%. Give me the $1 trillion first though, and I'll pay the tax at the end of the year. In fact, if that happens, I will buy everybody $100 of cigars. If the U.S. government pay me $1 trillion and tax me 90%, I'll buy every single members of Shadow Smoke's Legion 10 boxes of cigars of their choice. Or I'll buy $100 of cigar of their choice. In fact, we'll have giveaways where the giveaway will be like a house or an entire lounge. Okay? Okay, if I have that kind of money, the Shadow Smoker Legion giveaway will be cigar lounges. Alright? the giveaway for South Smoke Legion will be giving away cigar lounges. We'll build cigar lounges meeting areas in every single state. I'm not even kidding. If I have $1 trillion in the bank account, I'll build, and you'll be, I'm talking about 100 billion, not even 1 trillion. We gotta get the tax 90%, right? 90%, I'll still get 100 million, 100 billion. $100 billion, I'll build lounges in every single state. Okay, that's the case. That's the case. See how much power money can do in this kind of situation? US will have solved their deficit issue in like 5 minutes. It'll be a 5-minute news press. The world will go crazy and they just have to ignore all phone calls. Done. 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 Alright? And like the political issue and stuff like that, let the political people to deal with it. You know, just like we gotta stop paying for it. This is ridiculous. Let's take a look. My wife just set up our Jewish Day stuff. If you look at close, cigars are everywhere. Holy shit. I just have to say, you know, Travis, my birthday just passed. I didn't receive a birthday present. That looks like you guys have a really good time. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It looks like Bob enjoyed it. First Lady definitely enjoyed it. I can tell. First Lady definitely enjoyed it. The Mrs. Acorn definitely enjoyed it too. I can tell. Everybody enjoyed it. That's good. That's good. You know, when you go to an event, you want to fully enjoy it, and you guys definitely have fun. Now, I'm not too big of a Jewish State fan, so I don't know how much fun I'll have, but I know I'll have fun just for hanging out with you guys. Maybe one time, another year, I'll do it. Maybe another year. We'll see. If we have the $100 billion, I'll stop doing all my work. Okay? Stop doing all my work and do full-time SSL. I'll stop doing all my work. I'll do full-time SSL, and all I will do is spending the interest that I'm getting from that $100 billion on SSL and everything. Like, it will be the biggest cigar thing ever. I will spend, and in fact, every year I'll spend $1 billion to lobby for cigars. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I have a lot of fun. You know, whenever I go to Arizona, I think I have fun. So it's the people that's there. It's really not the location. It's really the people. The people, when I meet every member, like all the member I've met, feels like a family right off the spot. Like the moment that we met, shake hands, that's it. We're best friends forever. You know? Tell me that wasn't true. Anybody who have met me, don't we feel like a family, like a friend that has known each other for a long, long time? Even though technically we only knew each other for 9 months, 10 months. But I feel like I knew you guys for like forever, right? Forever. So, you know, it's really about the people. It's really about people. So don't be afraid to meet each other though. Don't be afraid to meet each other. Make sure that you go out there and hang out and stuff like that. We are doing a Massachusetts hangout next Saturday. So if you're in Rhode Island, want to drive up, or New Hampshire, want to drive down, please do. Please do. We're doing it in a lounge called Victory. They have pretty good bar and they have nice seats over there. Now, it's not a big place, but definitely good to hang out. And they have parking right in front of it. So. Anyways. So yeah, we talked about a lot. Time flies when you're having too much fun. So it flew for me this time. We're talking about crazy stuff. Really, I'm pretty sure China's gonna be very angry for me to say that kind of stuff. But, you know, we have fun today. I hope you enjoy whatever that you're doing for tomorrow. Because tomorrow is gonna be another, Sunday. Take your time off and really enjoy that. For the cigar, if you guys really want to try it, I'll make sure to make it available for you guys. I'll call. I'll make the phone calls. All right. Just let me know you guys want it. If we can get like at least 20 people sign up for it, we can get them to put it up. Okay. So if you want to try this, I think this cigar is between $10 to $13 a cigar. But it's a long ass cigar, so it can last almost 2 hours for most people. All right. It can last 2 hours for most people. So $13 is not bad at all to try this cigar. This cigar is really good. It's really good. I will almost call this cigar a dessert cigar because it's sweet and nice. The toffee taste, the sweetness, the saltiness really goes good with a lot of stuff. You'll go good with coffee. You'll go good with soda. You'll go good with tea. You'll go good with hot chocolate. You'll go good with really just even espresso. So definitely worth to try. All right, definitely worth to try. Today I run out of time, but I talked to my wife about the 2021 meet, and she's like, "Why is people, acting up and got drunk or whatever?" And I told her we actually talked about bringing blow dots. So if somebody acting up, it's like for example, Brendan Chapin's over there going crazy, got all done. And she was giving me this face. She's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But that's a story for next time. Anyway, 11 o'clock. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the night and tomorrow. I'll see you guys. I'm not gonna even make a promise anymore. I'm just gonna show up whenever it shows up. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night. I'll talk to all of you later. And Echo, if you're still at the event, still enjoy it, make sure you enjoy it to the max extent you can possibly get. All right? I hope you enjoy it. All right? Good night, everybody. Bye.